On March the 14th, we had our very first physical event in Nairobi, and we termed it as the Remote Work Mixer. We brought on board 5 global recruiters, including myself, spanning across different markets they had hired for global teams. And let me be honest with you, the theme that was constant in the mixer was that some of the best candidates that they have worked with are actually Africans. So the problem clearly is not the talent, but then the issue is positioning. And I've personally seen candidates who've been rejected not because they're not good at what they do, but because they didn't understand how global hiring actually works. So in this video, what we are going to be talking about today are 3 or 4 things. 1, what recruiters are actually thinking. 2, the mistakes that are actually costing you in an interview setting. 3, the big word, AI. How is that impacting hiring at a global scale? And then the 4th thing that you want to talk about ever so slightly would be what exactly you can do and how to create a powerful introductory video that's gonna get you noticed. So let's get into it. But before we do, if you're new here, my name is Lorraine and I position candidates for remote work. My experience in HR spans across local and global markets, and after 10 years in this space, I'm ready to get you the inside perspective into a recruiter's mind, which is, so the recruiter opens your CV, they're not asking, is this person hardworking? Do they have the potential? Absolutely not. That is not what they're thinking. They're actually asking one question and one question only. Can this person deliver in this role, in this environment immediately? And this is why you find in the remote space, the candidates that are highly favored or tend to get a lot of roles would be people that are highly experienced, because they tend to like what you term turnkey employees, right? If you've got more experience, you become more marketable in this space. And if you've got less experience, it means that your marketability actually drops. So you definitely need to have work experience. And this is where many African candidates actually lose, in that the mistake number 1 that you get to do is that you're talking about your responsibilities and not your results, because a majority of us actually have got experience. You use terms such as handled accounts or managed accounts, yet recruiters are actually looking at, or what they actually want to see is that you handled 80 plus clients daily and improved customer experience rate, or that you managed a portfolio of 200 plus clients. Having those numbers actually means that you're being more credible, and that is exactly what you need to do. Not having numbers and percentages means that you're not able to demonstrate impact, and essentially means that you're not being credible, right? These people don't know you. What they have going by is what the information that you have on your CV. So you need to be credible, and numbers equal credibility. The second mistake that I see African candidates actually do is not positioning themselves for remote work. Especially the global companies, they're not just hiring skills, they're hiring communication, they're hiring ownership, they're hiring independence. Heck, sometimes they're even hiring personality. A big chunk of them are actually hiring for personality. And that's why you find Latin candidates are, kind of like more favored, because they're loud, same to Americas, they wear their hats on their sleeves. And this is not something that a lot of on-site companies actually do, which is the polar opposite of what remote companies doing. They want to see the person behind the skills and capabilities. They want to get to know Lorraine. They want to get to know me as a human being, whether you'll be able to gel well with their company culture, or they'll be able to gel well with the team culture that they currently have. And that, my dear friends, becomes your secret sauce when it comes to the introductory videos, right? If your CV doesn't show remote tools, if your CV doesn't show remote softwares, cross-functional collaboration, async work, it means that you're starting off at a disadvantage. The third mistake that we see a lot of African candidates do, because we work majority of the African candidates, and that is our niche as Beyond the Savannah, is that they have generic profiles. Most CVs look the same, especially with AI. Every single person has the same CV. There's no differentiating factor. There's no story to your CV. And so it becomes literally boring. It becomes copy and paste, right? You've got the same numbers, got the same percentages, And so what do recruiters do? They actually skip your CV and move on to the next person who tells a better story on their CV. What I actually look at is the progression or growth that a candidate has in the time that they've actually worked. So does your CV tell a story? Is it cohesive? Is it not? And if you're not standing out, if your CV doesn't stand out, it means you're not getting shortlisted. It is just as simple as that. And the unfortunate bit of the matter is, at the moment, it is an employer's market, meaning we've got a lot more talent that are looking to get into the remote space than we have jobs for. So it means that now is the time to actually take your positioning really seriously. So we've talked about mistakes. How can we fix this, right? That is the whole purpose of this video. The first thing that you want to do, and I think I've actually hinted on some of the solutions that you can do, but then the first thing that you want to do is to demonstrate impact on your CV. Always, right? And instead of having responsible for clients, helping the project manager do X and X, or aiding in bookkeeping, I want to see onboarded 50 plus clients monthly, reducing the onboarding time by 30%. What you're doing, you're demonstrating impact, you're demonstrating ownership, and you're also demonstrating responsibility. All in one. The other thing that you want to do is you want to think of yourself as an entrepreneur and not a job seeker. Ask yourself, how do I make money? How do I save time or even improve efficiency, or all of the above? Because that is exactly what companies care about. What is the impact that you're coming to have on this company's bottom line? Are you coming to save me money? Are you coming to make me work faster? Are you coming to save me time? That is the goal of having any hire. Then the third thing that you also want to do is to position yourself for global relevance, even if you haven't worked remotely. I did create a video talking about the myths, right? I did create a video talking about the remote work myths, and one of the myths that you have is that you need to have remote work experience for you to land a remote job, which is an absolute myth. Even if you haven't worked remotely, you can still show scale. You can still show remote tools or even software that you have engaged with. You can still show results. Because all this matter, it speaks onto how you're positioning yourself for these remote opportunities. It demonstrates to a recruiter or even the hiring manager that you know what, you know how to get the job done, you're the person to get the job done, and you know what it takes to work in this environment, which is a remote work environment. So instead of saying worked in a customer service space, right, you want to say something in the lines of delivered high volume customer support using CRM system. It will be more beneficial if you actually stated the exact CRM tool that you have used while maintaining high satisfaction levels. You see how that is different from what we just talked about? And in this era of, AI, everyone is using AI. Everyone has an amazing CV, an amazing LinkedIn profile. One thing that is going to be different is that you need to position yourself differently. You need to personalize your prompts. You need to properly position yourself for these remote opportunities. Use AI wisely. You can use AI wisely even to help you go through your application process. And that is one of the reasons as to why on our website, we've got Savannah AI to actually help job seekers have curated CVs per job description. Speaking of Savannah AI and AI things, this is where things start shifting really fast. And let me break it down to you. The same AI that you're using to have curated CVs per job description is the exact same AI or system that recruiters are now using to actually go through your application before it even lands on a recruiter's desk. So before your CV even lands a human eye, it has gone through the ATS system, which actually looks at the keywords matching. That's why your CV needs to be ATS friendly at all times. It filters candidates. It ranks the profiles. It scans the keyword. That is why your CV needs to be ATS friendly at all times. It filters the candidates. It ranks the profiles. Basically, if your CV is not ATS friendly in this day and age, you do not exist. I repeat, if your CV is not ATS friendly, you do not exist. And companies have actually taken it a step further in the sense that now the first interview stage is done by AI. Imagine getting interviewed by AI. The beauty is the AI that has actually been trained doesn't do a really good job in terms of probing further questions. So that means you can still employ certain tactics to make sure that you are performing excellently in your AI interviews. More often than not, the AI is scoring for tone, it is scoring for clarity, and it is scoring for confidence. So if you've got those three things under your banner, you're good to go. You're able to score impeccably and then move on to the next stage where you'll be meeting the recruiter. So this means that you're being evaluated even before you speak to a human being. Hence, the reason as to why ATS-friendly CV is a must. Optimized LinkedIn profile is a must. And then when you get to the recruiter stage, you know what is the differentiating factor? Is an intro video. And that is what you're going to be talking about next in this video over here. See you there.